in my humble opinion, and I'm in no way a politician, an economist, a tax expert, or any of that, but it seemed to me that like they were just completely off base on the questions that they were asking. They really had a specific myopic focused on the payment for order flow, which, like, as a reminder, that's been around for like, to the best of my knowledge, for almost close to 2 decades. It's why Weeble's free. It's why Robinhood is free. They're free because, well, they have to keep their lights on somehow. So they're selling our order flow to these other big people like Citadel, and that's how they make money. I really don't think that that was the issue. The issue was, I get why there was such a massive increase in the what the clearinghouse wanted as a deposit from Robinhood. I get that. So the question is like, how did they compute that? Like, why was it specific? Like, if people just sold off other stocks, like, why was the restriction just on GameStop? And I think there was 12 other securities that were restricted. I just feel like they weren't asking the good questions. And my big fear here is we're going to have more regulations come out of it that are going to impact retail traders like me, like you, in a negative fashion. The big questions I have written down, well, my first question is like, why are they focusing so much on pay for order flow? That didn't seem right. But I think this was such a golden opportunity to clear up questions of how the stock market plumbing works. Like, explain to us what's going on with the deposit requirements with the clearinghouse. What are the technical issues with right now we have a 2-day settlement, T+2. What's going on? Like, can we go to T+1 quickly? Can we go to same day settlement? We need to have more questions and more understanding of what's going on. The one thing that was brought up by one person and we still never got the answer to it. How on God's green earth is there more than 100% float on a stock? If there's only so many shares outstanding, what's going on with this in excess of 100% short? What's going on with all these naked put positions? And I get that Citadel and Citadel Securities are like kind of 2 distinct business entities under just that Citadel flagship, but also no one was ever asking how much money were they getting in this whole debacle when they were just selling off calls. Like, they were alluding to the options market a little bit, and I get that it's way, way more complex, but I bet Citadel itself was very, very worried about all the options that they sold, the call options on GameStop. Like, just, they thought they were going to collect that premium. I'm sure that they were scared, and I get Citadel doesn't talk to Citadel communities, but I feel like this was just a clown show run by people who, like, maybe I would truly like to believe that they have our best interest in heart, but I just don't think they were knowledgeable enough about how our current stock market financial system works. And they were just there, like, it went off the rails so many countless times to the point that, like, I almost forgot we were there listening to something about GameStop and AMC. I'm trying to see if any other notes. Not really. Like, I would like to know more about the preferential treatment. That was a good question that they avoided. So if I'm Citadel paying for order flow, and then if an order is sent through Robinhood, are they going to get worse treatment than someone who isn't paying for it? As in, like, that they're just going to front run them and make money off of it? Like, that was another evaded question. If anything, I think that, and I get that this is just stage 1 and allegedly there's going to be more information coming out about this, but I think that this entire hearing made more questions than answers. And I get that as a community, retail investors that were very angry at Robinhood, they become the symbol of it. But honestly, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like we have more and more questions right now. To be truthfully honest, like, I don't know if what Robinhood did was illegal, if it was just immoral. We don't know, and they're not asking the right questions. So I'm hoping, right now it sounds like there's a new SEC chairman coming in because of the new presidency. So hopefully that they'll be on in later one so they can answer more questions for us. But right now, I don't think they did anything to really help us with resolving the tensions going on between us and Robinhood. I don't think they did anything to clear up questions that we have of how does this stock market plumbing work. They never answered anything about how we can improve T+2. What are the pros and cons of that? They didn't talk about the clearinghouses. I mean, right now, the clearinghouses are a huge thing. They're the people that came to Robinhood and say, hey, you need to cut that out. We need a lot more money. You need to cut down your risk. They weren't there at all. They weren't there to answer questions. Right now, the big summary of it is like, I can't say I'm surprised whenever it comes to politics. It seems like we're always kind of lit down. And this is just another case of it. I mean, it is obviously very, very disheartening because you always hope for a glimmer of hope that something else better will come out of it. But this just looks par for the course, especially for US politics. The questions didn't make sense. No good questions were asked. And we're just sitting here waiting to see what happens. And in the end, I think they're there pandering to their constituents so they can get more votes. And then after that, they're just going to wait for this to die out of the news cycle. And they're just going to hop onto the next thing because they're worried about keeping their own position. My gut instinct is that they're not there fighting for retail traders. Unfortunately, maybe some of them are there and I'm just misreading the situation. But my gut is telling me that they're here to, they know a lot of people were tuning into this one. I think they're the one guy said that of you don't let a crisis go to waste. I think they're here getting their face recognition, time recognition, and then they're going to move on to the next thing. I truly do hope I'm wrong. I hope that more answers come out of it. I hope that there is someone truly fighting for the retail investor. I'm not saying that it has to be fair across the board. I'm just saying it has to be equal between us and Wall Street. That's what I want at the end of the day. But of course, as more and more information comes out of this particular storyline, I'll make sure to keep you updated. Hopefully something positive does come from all of this.